Hi guys! It's been forever since I've recorded a video. It's been like 4 weeks or something crazy like that. It's been a long time anyway, so I feel like I've completely forgotten how this works. Like, I think my microphone is on, I think my camera's recording. Let's just cross our fingers that nothing goes horribly wrong. So seeing as how I'm back in the southern hemisphere and back in a more wintry kind of climate, I thought it might be nice to do a kind of a wintry or an autumnal kind of makeup look. I'm actually going to be going out for lunch today. It's Sunday today, which is usually myself and Paul's like nice day to do nice things. So we're going to go and have some dim sum for kind of brunchy lunch. So I want to do my makeup that I don't look like crazy for the rest of the day, if that makes sense. But I definitely wanted to do something a little bit more dramatic than the previous few videos that I've done for you. First things first, I'm going to prime with my Laura Mercier oil-free primer. For my foundation today, I'm using the Bourjois Healthy Mix in number 51. Really like this foundation. It has great coverage, but it really doesn't look heavy on the skin at all. And it lasts quite well on my skin too, on my very oily skin. Very much gonna concentrate that just in the center of my face, kind of especially around my nose. My nose is quite red at the moment because my allergies have been going crazy since I got back to Australia. I don't know what it is. Every time I fly, actually when I do that long haul flight, my sinuses always go a bit crazy, and I think since then my nose has just been really blocked. TMI, but it's not been very pleasant, so my nose is a bit red and sensitive at the moment. I'm gonna bring that onto my neck a little bit as well. Look at this. Bad breakout on my neck. Skin. Damn you. So if you aren't following me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you probably have not heard yet that I'm going to be doing a meetup on the 12th of July, so this coming Saturday, in Myer Sydney City. So it's the one on Pitt St Mall in Sydney. At the benefit counter, myself and 3 other beauty gurus are going to be at the benefit counter, but from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and we're just going to be hanging around, hoping to meet some of you guys and just playing with makeup and having a general lovely girly afternoon. So if you're around Sydney on Saturday and you want to come say hi to us, please do. We would love to see you. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook if you want to be kept up to date with all that kind of stuff, like outside of YouTube. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of pinpoint concealing. Just as I showed you earlier, I have a few might be a little bit playing it down a little bit. I've got a bit of a breakout on my neck and just a few kind of blemishes around my skin. So I'm going to be using my MAC Pro Conceal palette. This is the light to medium shade. And just on a pencil brush, dab that onto the blemishes. To be honest, usually for every day, I don't bother doing this kind of stuff, especially not on my neck. I know other people can see it, but I can't see it, so it doesn't bother me. But for the purposes of the tutorial, I'll go into a little bit more detail, a bit more effort. Now I'm going to use a different concealer under my eyes, just because this time of year when it's very cold, my under eye area does get a little bit drier, and I find the Studio Finish is a little bit too dry for under there. So I'm actually going to use Benefit's Erase Paste in number 1, and this is a very creamy consistency. So this I find works well when my eyes are a little bit drier. I'm just going to put that on with the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And the same as with the concealer on my blemishes, I'm just going to apply it with the brush just to get the product on. And then just take my finger to gently dab. And then just to set really through the center of my face, you guessed it, my Mineralized Skin Finish. This time I'm using light medium and my MAC 138 brush. And I definitely need to set that under eye concealer just because it is that bit creamier. It does tend to move a little bit more, so you just want to make sure you set it with a bit of powder. So as I'm in Australia and it's never really like full-on winter here, I am going to put some bronzer on my skin. I'm using my Laguna bronzer, and I didn't bring this with me to Ireland because you can see I'm on a dangerous level of pan, so I thought if I brought that traveling it would probably just break. So I've fallen in love with it all over again. I was so excited when I got back. I almost forgot I owned it actually. I was like, oh my god, NARS Laguna, I forgot about you. So I'm going to pop a little bit of that kind of under my cheekbones, but then blending up a little bit. Now for my blush today, I'm going to use another Benefit product. This is Havana, one of their box of powders. And this is one that when I got it, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. And the first time I tried it, I wasn't really gone. But I actually think it's perfect for this kind of look because I'm going to be doing a plummy kind of color on my lips. It incorporates those kind of plummy, more autumnal colors there. So I think it will tie in really nicely with the lips a little bit later on. I think the key is just not to put too much on, especially if you're a little bit fair like me. So I'm just taking the excess off on a tissue I have on my counter and using MAC 109 brush. So I'm kind of coming in behind the cheekbone here and then buffing forward. Just going to pop a few little dabs onto my nose as well, just to make sure the whole face is tied in together. And for my cream highlight today, I'm going to be using my Becca Shimmering Skin That's a difficult one to say. The Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone, and this is the one that broke. It still seems fine though, product seems absolutely fine, so I'm just going to take it. Actually no, I'm not, because that's not very hygienic. I'm just going to decant a little bit onto my palette and take it from there. So just dabbing the excess off. And this will just completely lighten up the skin and make it seem a lot fresher and not kind of as heavy and like winter skin, you know, that kind of way. I don't like the very matte powdered winter skin look. Not here anyway, not in this climate. Moving on to my brows now. I'm going to fill them in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I'm using the colour Ash Blonde today, and I want my brows to stay light. I don't want them to be too dark and too defined because I'm going for a darker colour on the lips, so I don't want my face to just become very heavy. So keeping them a little bit lighter and a little bit more summery, I suppose. I'm just going to very lightly stroke that pencil through. Just making sure I keep brushing the product through with the spoolie. And that's enough definition for me. So just to lock the hairs in place and add a teeny bit more texture, I'm using the Anastasia Brow Gel in Caramel. Moving on to the eyes, I'm first going to prime them with my NARS Pro Prime. And then just to knock out a little bit of the discoloration on my brow bone, I'm going to go into my Mineralize Skin Finish and that Deluxe Crease Brush and just use that kind of like a base eyeshadow colour, but I'm not going to put it onto my eyelid. First on the lid, I'm going to use MAC's Rice Paper, which is a lovely, very, very pale golden colour. It has a little bit of a yellow kind of base to it, which I think that yellowy golden colour on the eyes with a plummy colour on the lips works really well. And for my inner corner highlight, I want to go a little bit lighter, so I'm going to take Nylon, which on the face of it looks to be almost the same colour, but when it goes on, it's a lot brighter, a lot more frosty. So that's just right for the inside corner. And for a little bit of definition through my crease, I'm using Kid by MAC. This is a Sigma blending brush, by the way, the E25, which I really, really like. And I have finally gotten some Zoeva brushes on order, so I can't wait to try them out and tell you what I think of them. And I'll be able to definitively compare between Sigma, MAC and Zoeva. So just kind of vaguely through the crease and on that outside corner there. And then taking that same pencil brush I used for Nylon, I'm just giving it a quick wipe off and into Kid. Just pop that on the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to use some gel liner across my top lashes, and for that, I'm going to use the Benefit They're Real Push-Up Liner. I'm finally going to use it in a video. I did write a blog post about this and published it about 2 weeks ago, so if you are curious about this product, because it is a little bit different to other gel liners, it's not a felt tip pen and it's not a brush. If you're a bit curious about it and you want to see pictures of the tip up close, then go check out my blog post. I will have it linked down below because you can't really see it in the video. I can't zoom with this lens, so I won't be able to get that much of a detail shot for you. But basically it's gel eyeliner that is dispensed by like a rubber fin. Yep, so let's see what it looks like when it goes on. You need to give it a twist from the bottom, and that dispenses the gel out the top. And they say that one 360-degree turn is enough to do both eyes. Let's see. So you do need to kind of take a little bit of it out on the back of your hand, which is kind of a shame, but I suppose that's the same for all gel eyeliners. You do have to mess up your hand a little bit. The formula is jet black. Like, it's a really, really black gel liner. I do wish that the gel itself was a little bit wetter. That's kind of my one gripe. It's a bit, because it's so dry, it kind of drags on the eye a little bit. I think that's kind of feedback that a lot of people have been giving, but the applicator itself is brilliant. You get a very, very nice precise line. So you can see that's pretty much what I'm going to do with it. And you can see the line is slightly fuzzy. And that again is because the formula is a bit dry. So because you have to kind of go back and forth over it so many times to fill in the gaps that are left when you drag it across, you do end up making the line a little bit blurry. So if you're looking for that really, really like crisp graphic liner, you're not going to get it with this. You are better off using a liquid liner. But for something that's very, very easy and is one product and one, you don't need a separate brush, like, it is very, very convenient. It just gives you a slightly softer look, which, to be honest, I tend to prefer in my eyeliner every day anyway. And it is a very, very, very black formula, so you do get that really intense black definition, and it's very, very long wearing. So there you go, pros and cons. Liner is on both eyes. I'm just going to curl my lashes now with my Tweezerman lash curlers. For my mascara today, I'm going to use a new one for me. This is by Ofra, which is a brand I had not heard of up until recently, but it's supposed to be really nice. It's designed by a makeup artist and everything in it is vegan. As far as I know, I will double check that and have that in the description box, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, so let's see. It's one of these kind of rubbery comb mascaras. The wand is like one of those spiky rubbery ones, and it's got longer bristles on one end than it has on the other. So let's see. Yes, that's nice. Very black. Lovely. And finally, for my lip color today, I'm using another new one for me. This is a Laura Mercier gel lip color in the color Temptation, and I think this is part of their winter collection. So hopefully you can still get this on counters. Their gel lipsticks are quite sheer, so it's a nice easy way to wear a very dark color like this. And I'm going to put it on with a brush. I'm going to put it on like a stain, so I'm kind of going to layer it up. No lip liner or anything. Just want to keep this quite as fresh as possible for such a dark color. So it's the first layer on, and rather than blot it with a piece of tissue, I'm going to just powder on top of it. I think if I was to blot this, I'd actually wipe most of the color off because it is that quite balmy texture. So I'm just going to pop a light layer of my mineralized powder on top just to absorb some of the moisture. And that is the finished look. So I really hope you enjoyed this very wearable way to wear a deeper, more autumnal or wintry color. It's just a much fresher, kind of younger, more modern way of doing the darker colors, I think. And it's perfect for this time of year in Australia, but I think would work equally well if you're enjoying summertime up in the Northern Hemisphere. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to check out the description box if you're interested in coming to meet me at the benefit counter next week. Sorry, it's been so long since I've done a proper tutorial for you guys, but I'm back. I'm in my apartment, as you can see. I'm hopefully going to be back on schedule from now on, so get used to seeing a lot more of me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you very soon.